Good morning, Jack. How are you doing?
Good morning, Emily. I'm doing good, and you?
Doing good as well. Are you ready for these 73 questions?
Let's go.
Perfect. Let's start out. Tell us who you are, where you're from originally, and what year you're in at KLU.
I am Jack. I was born in the U.S., New Hampshire, and actually I lived in Hamburg all my life. And I'm currently studying international management, and I'm in the end of my first year.
Okay, perfect. So what brought you to KLU in the first place?
What brought me to KLU in the first place is actually their sports scholarship program. So I had the thoughts of studying abroad, and then the KLU approached me, and it was an offer that I couldn't resist, and also good because now I'm still at home in the beautiful city of Hamburg.
Nice. And what sport are you playing?
I play field hockey.
Okay, very cool. So do you play field hockey for KLU? Do you play for Germany? How does that work?
I play field hockey for Der Club an der Alster, which is a club here in Hamburg, and also for the U.S. national team.
Oh wow, the U.S. national team. Okay, so how does that work out?
So basically I train 4 to 5 times a week with my club here in Hamburg. And depending on how much the U.S. national coach has planned, I fly over or we train here in Europe and play with the U.S. team.
Okay, very cool. So that means I'm guessing you have to travel a lot. Is it hard to juggle school and hockey when you're traveling?
Well, we travel around 3 to 4 times a year, depending on if any games are coming up with the U.S. team. And with the club here in Hamburg, we only travel over the weekend, so that's totally fine. And to juggle that with university it's all right. So I'm still here, I'm still standing, and I'm still studying also after my bachelor's degree, doing a master's degree, so it was definitely possible.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm almost done, so not much longer.
Yeah, so you're making it work. So are you happy so far that you chose KLU?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. And could you describe the KLU spirit for us a little bit?
The KLU spirit is very friendly and helpful. So every time I, for example, walk into the KLU building, you always have somebody at the front desk greeting you. And that already creates a little bit of a positive vibe.
Yeah, great atmosphere. Totally agree. So if you had to choose one song to describe your uni experience, what song would you choose?
It would be No Matter from Jack Heldens, and that would not only be from my KLU experience, but also just a good song for me in general life, as it is. Whatever happens, just keep going.
Nice, I like that. I'll check it out. So how many hours do you have to study per day?
That always depends on the assignments or presentations, if there are any coming up, and of course on the exam week. For example, during the exam weeks, it's about 6 hours a day. Then if there are no exams, no assignments, not that much.
Okay, nice. And that plus your hockey, how many hours of sleep do you end up getting?
I end up getting around 8 hours of sleep. So I train at night. Well, we train around 8 to 10. And then after that, I always fall straight into bed.
Yeah, I bet. So, how essential is German to study here at KLU?
To be honest, you don't need to be able to speak German when you come here to Germany. It is a very international city, and a lot of companies do not even have to. You don't even have to speak German, and especially at the KLU, where you have a very international atmosphere.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, good to hear for our international students. And how many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 languages, so English, German, and Spanish.
Okay, perfect, impressive. So let's do some rapid fire questions. I'll give you 2 options and you pick one. So do you prefer to study alone or in groups?
Alone.
Study in silence or study with music?
Quietly, so silence.
And a study snack, do you prefer salty or sweet?
Sweet.
Now, which are you more proud of, academic career or sports career?
So far, my academic career, but once I've played the Olympics, then definitely my sports career as well.
Yeah, we'll get there one day. So can you tell us a little bit about where we are right now?
Right now, we are in the Hafen City, and we're currently on a ponton where boats can only lie or have a place when they're older than 30 years.
Oh, very cool, very Hamburg. So do you have a favorite study spot?
My favorite study spot would probably be at home.
Yeah, understandable. And do you have a favorite school tradition or event?
My favorite school tradition, I mean, I haven't been to many events at the KLU, but it will probably be the graduation at the end.
Yeah, well earned at that point. So do you have a typical sentence or phrase that you hear every day on campus?
Thank you for your participation from the professors at the end of the class.
Yeah, I've heard that one. So let's ask some personal questions now. When are you at your best?
When I focus on myself, I'm happy and don't get irritated what people say about me.
Yeah, that's good. Good mindset. Do you have a favorite spot in Hamburg?
A favorite spot in Hamburg would probably be, it's difficult because there's so many good spots. I'll probably take the Baby Goat is promoting my friends. They also are teammates of mine. It's a little bar in the Gründerhof.
Okay, I'll check it out then. And do you have a favorite restaurant in the city?
A favorite restaurant is Tiefenthal because they have great schnitzel and bratkartoffeln. Or the Brücke every Sunday, they also have the schnitzel with mashed potatoes.
Very German of you. So what part of the city do you live in?
I live in Havestehude, so relatively central, a great place.
Okay, nice. And is that far from campus?
It is about a 25-minute drive and walk for me because my girlfriend actually lives somewhere back there, and I always drive the car then to her, park there, and then walk to campus.
Perfect, super convenient. And if you had to pick something, what would be the best and worst things about Hamburg?
The best thing about Hamburg, I mean, there's so many things. You have the Reeperbahn, the Schanze, if you are keen for a drink or to go partying. Then you have the Grindelhof, also as I just said, with a little bar like the Baby Go and many restaurants. And as well, Hamburg is just so green and has so much water, as here with the Elbe. It's just beautiful, but the worst thing about Hamburg is probably the weather, although we're quite lucky because we're not wearing thick clothes and can enjoy the sun right now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one. So let's get a bit back to the uni questions. How would you describe your classes in 3 words?
The classes are interactive as the professors try to integrate the students as much as possible. It is very practical with the case studies that the professors offer, and is interesting.
Okay, nice. And what are the typical class sizes?
The typical class size is about 10 to 20 students.
Okay, sounds good. And do you have a favorite class?
My favorite class would probably be electronic business or new product development, where you do not have an exam at the end of a semester where you just have to memorize the stuff, but actually develop an idea for yourself that you could take over after studying.
Oh wow, I like that. So if you had to describe your professors in 3 words, how would you do so?
Very interested in understanding in what I do, so they're very flexible, offering me to do what I'm doing with field hockey, so travel, for example, with the US. They're very passionate about what they do, and that was the 3 words.
Good choices. And what was the biggest surprise when you started at KLU?
The biggest surprise, actually, I think the modern building of the KLU, because I studied my bachelor's degree, or did my bachelor's degree at the FH Wedel, and that was definitely a different building type, and just as well as it's so much going on here and just different.
Yeah, understandable. So if you could change one thing about KLU, would you change anything?
If I would change anything, no, because I can't think of anything.
Good to hear. So do most graduates leave KLU with jobs?
As I know of, yes, because at the end of your master's degree or bachelor's, you have to do an internship, and most of the time the companies directly take you, and that is very convenient for you as a student. And as well, the KLU recruit team always takes care of you with the job board or meetings with the companies where you can get a first feeling of the company.
Okay, that sounds perfect. So you're optimistic about what comes after KLU?
Definitely.
Nice. And do you think you'll go back to the US or stay in Germany?
That is a good question because I think due to hockey, I'm going to still stay a while in Germany, but definitely move after that when my hockey career is over. I'm going to move to the US just because I enjoy the US. It's just, I love it. And as well, I'm going to probably move somewhere where it's warm.
Yeah, understandable with this weather. So what will you miss the most when you graduate KLU?
What I will miss the most is my friends. That was actually an easy answer because it would be sad when I leave them.
Yeah, definitely. So should everyone who watches this video apply to KLU?
Definitely. KLU is a great opportunity when you study for bachelor's or master's, doesn't matter. Just go for it and do it because the KLU has so much to offer. I also had nothing negative to say about the KLU as I had nothing to change about it, so just go for it.
Well, you've convinced me. Thanks so much, Jack, for joining us for our 73 questions. You nailed it.
Emily. I enjoyed it.